Hello everyone, and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers suggest that Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, beach home invasion could be on the way. Will Luna flee and pursue Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, once she moves in with Will Spencer, Crew Morrow? According to the weekly promo for November 12th to 14th, it appears that Electra and Will are on the verge of living together. All indicators lead to Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, persuading the young couple to move into the seaside house. Of course, the place will require some spiritual purification first. Given all of the Luna horror that occurred at the beach house throughout the summer, it's understandable that an energy healer would come and remove all of the negativity. From there, BNB spoilers indicate that Will and Electra will try to embrace a new start. There will be some lovey-dovey moments between the couple, as well as a social media post about their new home, so Luna will panic out when she sees it behind bars. Luna will become frantic when she finds her strategy is still failing horribly. Although Luna expected this baby to be her ticket to a life with Will, it will be clear that he is creating a life with Electra instead. Luna will become increasingly desperate, which may force her to do horrific things. Could Luna be planning an escape that will land her back on the streets and expose her to even more danger? Luna will work even harder to find a way out of there if she decides she has to leave. If Luna is unable to obtain that freedom officially, she may devise a getaway plot and seize it by force. The last time Luna was free, she got obsessed with eradicating Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, off the map. Luna went so far as to use Steffi's photo for target practice, proving she was a lady on a mission. Electra is now standing in the way of Luna's progress, and she has supplanted Steffi as Luna's primary adversary. Another beach house showdown could be on the way if Luna returns to the crime scene and pursues Electra this time. Luna might convince herself that Will could love her if Electra was not present. That could jeopardize Electra's safety, so we'll keep you updated on any concerning developments for Will's girlfriend. According to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Luna has more tricks up her sleeve and will almost certainly produce another round of hazardous drama. The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, spoilers for Monday, November 12th state that John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, will make a promise against Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, while Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, and Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, prepare for their next step as a pair. Although Will has been concerned about losing the woman he loves, Electra may reassure him that she is not leaving. Electra understands that Luna and the baby she will eventually give birth to will provide obstacles, but she is determined to be by Will's side. That may change in the future, but for the time being, BNB will continue to build Will and Electra's relationship. Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, may eventually come up with a beach house offer because the space is free. It would be an ideal location for Electra and Will to live together, so Bill may make this offer and strive to get them on board. Will and Electra will eventually decide to make the beach house their permanent residence, but an energy healer will be required to remove all of the creepy Luna poison before they can legally move in. In the meantime, Finn will have a visitor in his office, so Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, may try to make apologies for all of her Luna secrets. Although Finn could never hate his adopted mother, he is clearly unhappy with Lee's actions and how they lead to Will's current predicament. Finn, on the other hand, will be relieved that Luna is in jail and cannot harm anybody else. Whatever happens next, Finn will promise to protect Steffi and the children. Finn will remain vigilant and hope Luna remains imprisoned indefinitely because she has demonstrated her inability to reform. Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, will shortly visit Il Giardino, where Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, will literally be her best friend. Sheila will be grateful to Taylor for preventing a divorce from Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon. Unfortunately, Deacon and Sheila's attempt to save their marriage may fail miserably due to the magnetic attraction Deacon and Taylor have for each other. According to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Sheila may change her mind about Taylor and make her a revenge target in the future, so bad news might be on the way. The sun was low over the Pacific, creating a golden haze across the Malibu beach, where the waves whispered secrets to the shore like old lovers reconnecting after a storm. The beach mansion stood tall on the cliff, its worn wood paneling and vast glass walls a tribute to the Spencer family's unwavering commitment to luxury and tradition. Bill Spencer had constructed it decades ago as a getaway, a place where deals were made with scotch and sunlight, but it now radiated a different energy, one of delicate new beginnings tinged with betrayal. While Spencer strolled out onto the deck, his bare feet soaking into the warm planks and a chilled bottle of champagne dangling in one palm. At the age of 25, he bore the weight of his genealogy like a crown that both elevated and burdened him, his father's strong jawline and piercing blue eyes that could enchant or command. But today, their gaze softened when they fell on Electra Forrester, who was arranging a vase of wildflowers on the driftwood coffee table inside. She wore a simple white sundress that fluttered in the breeze, her dark hair cascading in loose waves and framing a face that reflected the quiet strength of the Forrester dynasty. Electra, 23, was the daughter of Ridge and Taylor Forrester, a mix of artistic fire and unwavering determination, and in Will's arms, she had found the first true anchor in a life frequently shaken by family storms. Home sweet home, Will said, popping the cork with a flourish that sent foam arcing into the ocean. Electra turned, her smile as bright as the first stars in the dusk sky, and crossed to him, locking her arms around his waist as the salty air surrounded them both. "It's perfect," she said softly, laying her cheek against his chest. "No more hotel hopping, no more hiding from the world. Just us." Her voice was defiant, a subtle undertone born of months of navigating the damage Luna Nozawa had left in her wake. Luna, the woman who had disguised herself as Electra in a dimly lit party haze, seducing Will under false pretenses, only to reveal her deception with a pregnancy that bound them all together. The DNA test had proven it. The kid developing inside Luna was Will's, a biological thread that refused to break despite the emotional distance it covered. The inside of the house had been renovated. Bill, the patriarch with the booming laugh and iron will, insisted on a cleansing right before they moved in. Mira, a spiritual healer advised by Katie Logan Spencer, had swept through the rooms with sage bundles and incantations, banishing the violent ghosts left over from Luna's earlier rampage. Luna once held Steffi Forrester at knife point in this beach house, her jealousy honed by rejection. The white rugs were smeared with Luna's blood, which had spilled when Liam Spencer, in a desperate attempt to protect his family, fired the shot that almost killed her. The scars had been wiped away, but the recollection lingered like sea mist. Bill Spencer clapped Will on the back as he joined them on the deck, his silver hair reflecting the fading light and his dominating presence as strong as ever. "To new chapters," he said, clinking glasses with a grin that belied the vigilance in his eyes. Katie stood alongside him, lovely in a linen blouse, her hand resting firmly on Bill's arm. She had been the one to advocate for this step, claiming that Luna's confinement was a lock that could finally be turned. "The beach house is yours now," she'd stated. "Don't let that woman's shadow steal your joy." However, shadows have a tendency to lengthen. Luna Nozawa, miles away, paced the tiny confines of her cell at the Women's Correctional Facility in Chino, her large belly a constant reminder of the life she refuses to give up. Luna, at 24, had previously been the epitome of unbridled ambition, a journalism intern with aspirations as big as the ocean she could see from her mother's small apartment. However, unrequited longing had turned ambition into obsession. First, there was Finn, her stepfather's kid, a medical god she could never touch. Then she turned Liam's generosity into cruelty. And now for Will. Will, with his easy smile, and Spencer Fortune, who had murmured promises in the dark, mistook her for Electra. The cell was a concrete and steel cage, with a strong odor of bleach and hopelessness. Luna's orange jumpsuit stretched against her 5-month pregnancy, a symbol of her alleged atonement. The guards were sympathetic at first, extra pillows, pregnancy vitamins, but their sympathy waned when whispers about her history spread. The beach house psycho, they dubbed her in the break room. Luna knew. The walls were thin, and wrath resonated. Visiting hours were what broke her. Or, more specifically, their lack. Nobody came anymore. Poppy, her mother, was too preoccupied with her own problems with Bill to confront the daughter she had failed. Not Lee Finnegan, her aunt who had rejected her following the DNA revelations. Even the jail preacher had become bored of Luna's sobbing rants about destiny and love. So she sat alone with a common tablet, going through social media under the watchful eye of a camera when the message struck like a dagger to her heart. Will's account includes a photograph of him and Electra on the veranda of the beach home, arms linked, the ocean stretching behind them like a conquered country. The post read, "New digs with my forever. Hashtag Spencer Forrester, hashtag blessed." Hashtags flew like confetti, unaware of the storm they started. Luna's breath tightened, and her palm flew to her tummy, as if to protect the child from the betrayal. Their seaside house. The location where she first tasted Will's lips under the mask, where she imagined picnics on the beach and lullabies by the fire. And now, Electra, the porcelain-perfect intruder, was claiming it, creating a life from the wreckage of Luna's hopes. "Oh my God," Luna said quietly, her voice shaking as she held the tablet harder. Larson, a hefty lady with a rose tattoo on her forearm, paused on her rounds and glanced across. "Are they building a home together?" Luna's wild and yearning eyes latched on Larson's. "That's my home. That's my family." Larson shifted uncomfortably, her keys jingling like accusatory bells. "No personal devices after lights out, Nozawa. Hand it over." However, Luna's grip tightened, her mind racing. The post was from yesterday, and they were already there, opening boxes and toasting with champagne that should have been hers. The baby kicked, delivering a strong punch that felt like agreement. This infant was a Spencer heir, providing leverage in a world that prized blood over truth. If Will did not come to her, she would go to him. Escape was not a fantasy, it was a need. That night, as the jail fell into a nighttime hum, coughs echoing down the block, the distant slam of gates, Luna lay on her bunk, staring at the water-stained ceiling. Memories flooded her mind. The night of the masked ball, the silk of Electra's abandoned dress against her flesh, Will's hands exploring what he thought was his love. The thrill of concealment, the dread of exposure. Then came the beach house siege, Steffi's screams, and the gunshot that ripped through her side like Judgment Day. She had survived and battled her way back from the brink, only to be trapped again. Electra's call to the cops had sealed the deal: kidnapping, attempted murder, the allegations stacked like stones on her chest. But survival breeds ingenuity. Luna had noticed Larson's late-night shifts, her tendency to linger near the recreation room, and the way her eyes softened when Luna mentioned the baby. A little girl. Luna had lied once, conjuring tales of nursery songs and tiny booties. Larson had an estranged daughter who ended up in the foster care system. Common ground, a flaw in the armor. Luna tested the waters the following morning, during yard time. The exercise yard was a bleak square of broken asphalt, with chain-link fences topped with razor wire gleaming in the merciless California heat. Inmates meandered about, some jogging in chaotic loops while others huddled in whispered groups. Luna found Larson at the water fountain, filling her thermos. "Guard Larson," Luna said, her voice faint and fragile. She placed a hand on her belly, a universal symbol of vulnerability. "I had a dream last night about my baby, and she's kicking so hard now, like she knows something's wrong." Larson looked around to make sure no one was too close. "Dreams are just dreams, Nozawa. Focus on your program. Anger management begins at 10. Luna moved closer, her black eyes glittering with artificial tears. "It's not anger. It's loss. Will, he's the father. And now he's with her in our house. I saw the post. The beach house. Do you know what that place means to me?" She took out a crumpled printout from her pocket, smuggled from the tablet room. A grainy copy of the photo. Will and Electra are giggling, oblivious. Larson's jaw tightened, but she did not look away. "I got a kid out there too. 16 now. Haven't seen her since she was 8. The system took her after my ex went down for dealing." Her voice was gravelly, the first Luna had heard. I get it, Luna said, her tone silky. Family is everything. This baby is all I have left. If I could just talk to him, give him one chance to see. She paused, letting the words hang like bait. I hear things. About the laundry shift. The back gate. Trucks come and go. Larson's brows tightened in alarm. You hear too much. Not enough, Luna murmured. But I could make it worth it. When the baby is born, a Spencer. Millions. I'd share. For help. Just a distraction, a blind eye. You're not in the system forever. The guard's quiet stretched as thick as the heat. Then there was a tiny nod, which could have been caused by the wind. Laundry detail. Thursday. Be ready. But if you screw this up, it's on you. Elation flowed through Luna like adrenaline, but she buried it with appreciation, a muttered, thank you, that clinched the deal. Thursday was 3 days away. Enough time to plot and prepare. She would need clothes, cash, and any crumbs she could find. And a destination. A beach house. Electra goes first. Then Will. The youngster would bind them, whether he wanted to or not. Back in Malibu, the beach house exuded domestic bliss. Electra unpacked the final box in the kitchen, stacking plates with the precision of a reclaimed territory. The location was open concept, with clean lines and beach views, the type of environment that screams success. She halted at the island counter, tracing her fingertips over a tiny scar in the granite left over from the night Luna's mayhem erupted. Steffi had been tethered to that precise stool, her pleas cutting through the darkness like glass. Are you okay? Will said, stepping up behind her and encircling her waist. He nuzzled her neck, breathing in the aroma of her lavender shampoo. Electra leaned back against him, but her body tightened noticeably. Just remembering. This house has history. Bad history, Will said quietly. But we're writing the new one. Dad had it blessed or whatever. There will be no more ghosts. She twisted in his arms, looking into his eyes. And Luna? The baby? Will's visage darkened, the weight of parenthood an unwanted visitor. She's locked up. Ankle monitor, if she gets out early. We're getting full custody. Katie's working with the lawyers. This doesn't change us. Electra nodded, but worry crept in. Luna's infatuation was not rational. It was like a wildfire, engulfing everything in its path. The lady impersonated her, slept with Will, and planned kidnappings. And now he is pregnant with his child. Promise me you'll be careful. She's not done. Will kissed her forehead, reassuringly. I promise. Now, how about we christen the hot tub? Their laughter echoed as they walked outside, yet the ocean's roar seemed to mock the fragile nature of their calm. Bill paced his study in the Spencer home, phone to his ear. Double the security detail, he instructed his head of protection. And keep an eye on that prison. If Luna even sneezes wrong. Katie watched from the doorway, arms folded. You're scaring them, Bill. Let the kids have this. It's not fear, it's foresight, he said before hanging up. Luna's a viper. One strike wasn't enough. Thursday began dismal and foreboding, with clouds scudding across the sky like omens. The laundry detail assembled in the prison's industrial basement, a cavern of humming washers and steam clouds, with wet and uncomfortable air. Luna went among the detainees, folding sheets with mechanical precision while her heart pounded. Larson was there, clipboard in hand, face neutral. The truck arrived at noon, a decrepit linen delivery van, driven by a grizzled regular who hardly glanced at the guards. The protocol required a pat-down, but Larson handled it with a brisk clear. As the inmates loaded bins, Luna slipped to the rear, her pulse thundering. She had stitched a loose seam in one of the baggy jumpsuits to make a pocket for her contraband, a filed-down spoon handle for leverage, a stolen keycard from the rec room, and a wad of cafeteria cash, $20, enough for a bus if luck held. Now, Larson mumbled, turning away to conceal the camera's view. Luna pushed open the van's rear panel amid the steam and screaming, sliding inside the cargo hold among piles of filthy uniforms. The door banged shut, and the engine started. Escape. The vehicle lurched out of the gate, its tires crunching gravel, and Luna held her breath as the baby kicked in a frenzied Morse code of escape. What happens after the 20-minute drive to the highway? She didn't have a phone or an ID, but the beach house address was seared in her soul. 142, Ocean Bluff Drive. Hitchhike or steal a bike, whatever it takes. Electra's arrogant look from the snapshot remained in her imagination. You're not taking him, Luna said softly to the darkness. Not my family. Hours passed in a fog of anguish. The van arrived to a commercial laundry in Pomona, and Luna emerged in the shadows of an alley, swapping the jumpsuit for a stolen hoodie and jeans from the garbage. She appeared like any transient, unkempt and determined. A bus to Santa Monica cost $8, but she saved the rest for the cab that would take her the final leg. The bluff loomed at dark, with the beach house lights sparkling like a beacon. Twilight painted the countryside in bruised purples as Luna climbed the slope, her breath strained and sweat beading despite the cold. The home was alive with warmth, with figures dancing behind the glass and laughing bursting out like an unsolicited invitation. Will and Electra are intertwined on the couch, a bottle of wine between them. Luna's fingers moved to her side, the scar from Liam's bullet pulsing with phantom anguish. She circled around to the side entrance, the deck's sliding door open against the breeze. No alarms. Bill's security was perimeter-focused and did not anticipate an inside job. Luna slid in like a specter, the fragrance of garlic and herbs reaching her. Dinner was boiling on the stove. Voices from the living room. Electra's melodic lilt and Will's deep guffaw. Can't believe it's real, Electra exclaimed. No more looking over our shoulder. Luna froze in the hallway shadows, her heart beating like a war drum. The kitchen island served as a narrow barrier between her and them. She searched for weapons. A knife block sparkled on the counter. Her fingers wrapped around a small but sharp paring knife, the handle cold against her palm. Footsteps. Electra entered the kitchen, hummed quietly, and reached for a corkscrew. Time was broken. Luna sprang from the darkness, clamping a hand over Electra's mouth and putting the knife against her throat. Not piercing, not yet. Don't scream, Luna said, her voice a poisonous whisper. Or this ends now. Electra's eyes widened in fear, and her body stiffened. She recognized Luna right away, the wild hair, the savage sparkle. A stifled moan escaped, but Luna's hold tightened, bringing her back to the pantry door. Will called from the living room, unaware. Babe, you need help with that.